Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 6 of Mr. G's Idiot's Guide to Composing and Arranging. So today I'm just going to remind you a little bit about chords, and then we're going to put together a little chord sequence, and then I'm going to teach you how to add a basic melody to your chords. So we're starting with chords first. So here we have a C major scale. And as I taught you in a previous lesson, you can build a chord in thirds on each of these notes. If you just tap 3, the number 3 on your computer keyboard, it will add a third above that note. Okay, and another one. Then here we go again. So I'm just tapping 3. Now if you remember last time, I told you that we tend to give the chords a number to identify which chord they are. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to use text. So let's have that right hand menu down. Text. And we're going to go for lyrics. Just lyrics. Line 1 will do. Now if I click under here, I can do Roman numeral 1. And when I tap the space bar, because normally you'd be putting lyrics in, this is another lesson I'll show you how to do that. So we call that chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7. Okay, and then we'll tap escape as always. So there you have your 7 chords in the key of C. Now some are major, so 1, 4 and 5 are major chords. 2, 3 and 6 are minor chords, and 7 is in between, it's the diminished chord. Now when you're wanting to put a chord sequence together, particularly for sort of GCSE type standard, don't try and be too complicated. So what we're going to do, we'll do it in treble clef here. We're going to put together a simple sequence, something like 1, 4, 5, 6, 1. Something like that. So we're going to copy this. So Command C for copy, Command V, so we're going to put 1 in there, Command C for copy, Command V for paste, okay, and we said 5, didn't we? Command C, Command V, and then we're going to put Command C, Command V, and then we'll probably go, well, let's see what that sounds like. So I'm going to click on play. That'll do for now. Right, I've just realised I want to put that on the treble clef of the piano, so I'm going to hold down Alt. As always, get rid of those. So if you use Shift and highlight them and then just do backspace, it gets rid of them. So right, here we have our basic little pattern of triad chords. Now, really, that's a very basic sequence. Now, what we're going to do first, the first step, which I always teach my students, is to do what we call a triadic melody. So in effect, just use the notes in the chord. First thing to do is to decide on the rhythm of your tune. So I often get my class to clap a rhythm. So if we go something like, for that first phrase, so that'll be, let's just put it all on the C note, bum, crotchet, bum, 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 bum. I always get my students tap escape. Always get them to start their melody just on the C note. Get the rhythm right first. So we've got bum, 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 and let's answer that with bum, 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 bum. Okay, so that'd be quavers, half a repeat. Oops, no, crotchet, half a repeat. And then it was the same as that, so we'll copy that. So we'll highlight it, hold down Alt. So that is our melodic rhythm. ignore the clash at the moment, we're just going for a rhythm. And then we just look at what notes we've got available in the chord. So C, well, it is a C. If we put it up an octave, hold down Command and up arrow, that is actually the chord, so that's okay. So we could change that to one of these. Let's make it the G. And then back to the C again. Now this F chord, let's make that an A, an F. Let's see what that sounds like now. Okay, that's all right. Now you hear how it fits the chords because it just uses the notes of the chords. Now let's have a look at these quavers. So we've got G, B and D. So let's have a G, B, D, B, D, B, and then A minor. We can have C, and then the A. So let's have a listen at that. That's what we call a triadic melody because it just uses the notes of each triad. Okay, so that's a nice little first phrase. Now, once you've got this, as I've said before, you can look for examples for what we call passing notes. So where you've got a note that is two notes that are a third apart, in theory, you can put a passing note in to make it a little bit more smooth. So let's have a look, let's work from the beginning. So that's quite a big jump, so you can't really get a passing note in there, same with there. That's the same. Now you could, in theory, get a passing note in there or there. So you could go, you could make that something like that, although that might clash a bit. Let's have a listen. Yeah, there's something odd about that, isn't it? Let's work backwards. Now if you make a mistake and you want to work backwards, hold down Command and just tap Z till it goes back to what you had before. Now maybe what we will do, we'll change that to a semiquaver, half a repeat and put the passing note in there. Let's have a listen. Okay, and then so that works okay in that bar. Now there's a number of options we can do here, but it might be the best one to make that a quaver, half a repeat and drop it like that. And then really we've got a repeated note here. We could make that, because it's in between there, the C and the A, we could make that A B, and that would be a passing note as well. So let's have a listen to what yeah, that bar's a bit strange, isn't it? Let's just let's take that one out. I'm not sure that I like that. You can fiddle around and experiment. You could make that. Oh, it's always best if you to halve the note if you want to get a passing note, and so that becomes a semiquaver. Could try that. Yeah, just listen to the whole thing. Okay, now if you remember back to the first lesson, I think it was, we talked about a structure for creating melodies, which was 4-bar phrases, which is what we've got there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That went, call that section A, then repeated, then a contrast, da 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 da. So if you go back to lesson 1 and 2, you can see that. But what we've done here is to create a chord sequence, all right, of simple chords, 1, 4, 5, your primary chords, and then just a 6th chord in there to just spice it up a little bit. Okay, So what I would like you to do now is to go away and follow those steps carefully. Construct yourself a chord scale. This could be in any key you like. I'll talk about keys a bit more in another lesson. Okay, so just get yourself a 4-bar melody, and then next lesson we'll convert it into a 16-bar melody and take it from there. Okay, thanks very much for listening. You've been listening to Mr. G's Idiot's Guide to Composing and Arranging. Bye for now.